Hi there, I'm Tim with Flavors on Fire and welcome to our Flavors on Fire 101 episode. Today we will talk about knife skills. And knife skills are really critical when you want to become a better home cook or a chef. They can save you a lot of time and you'll use them every day. So when I do my cooking classes, I often get asked three questions. Number one, what are the different cutting and slicing techniques? Number two, what knives do I use to perform those techniques? And number three, how do I make sure I don't cut my fingers off? Those are all great questions and we're going to answer those today as well as give you some tips and tricks. So let's get started.
To answer all three of your questions, it's easiest to show you two kinds of cuts: the fine dice of an onion and a julienne cut of a carrot. And before we start slicing, we'll go over a couple of safety tips to make sure we keep our fingers in the process. So you'll need a steady cutting board, something like this wooden chopping board here, or a plastic one with anti-slip edges. You'll also need a very sharp knife. That's really important. Dull knives will slip off the food and actually result in cuts, believe it or not. Next, we want to make sure we have the right grip. So instead of holding the knife at the end and losing control, you want to make sure you pinch the end of the blade between your index finger and thumb and then grip around the end of the knife. And that way you have a lot of control when you slice. And then the fourth but probably most important tip, you want to make sure that you hold the food using a claw method. Instead of leaving your fingers out long like this and actually cutting off your fingertips, you want to make sure that you curl the front three fingers into a claw, locking the food underneath and then rocking the knife back and forth over your knuckles. So let's start our first knife skill, dicing an onion. Now that we have the proper grip and the claw technique, let's talk about a knife. So for a diced onion, I like to use an 8-inch chef's knife. And the reason for that is, first, it has a point, so we can make some precise cuts, and it rocks back and forth, as you can see here, which is important when dicing. So let's get started by cutting this onion in half. We're going from the root to the top of the onion. Make sure you don't cut out the root. It's important. First of all, it holds the onion together when we dice it. And second, it actually prevents some of the crying that most people suffer from when you're cutting an onion. So here I've peeled the onion and laid it on its side, cut side down. We're going to make a couple horizontal slits, and this helps us with the fine dice that we're trying to achieve here. As soon as we're done with that, we'll turn the onion 45 degrees and start making cuts down all the way to the cutting board. And you're trying to go as close to each other as possible, especially when you're doing a fine dice. Now we'll turn the onion 45 degrees back and look at that claw technique. Really important, make sure you don't cut your fingers. Go all the way down and as close to the root as you can. And there you go, we have our fine diced onion. And our second knife skill is julienning a carrot. We'll use a nakiri for this job, and that's a Japanese knife made specifically for slicing vegetables. And as you can see, the blade is straight, not curved like the chef's knife, and that makes it easier to cut all the way down through vegetables. And we have a peeled carrot here. Let's go ahead and slice this into 2-inch pieces. And next we want to make sure that we can lay the carrot flat since it's round right now. So let's cut off the side of one of these 2-inch pieces. Now lay the carrot on the side, use the claw technique and slice down approximately 1/8 of an inch planks of carrot. And the last step is to put all these planks on top of each other and make sure that they line up. And then we'll slice down approximately 1/8 of an inch again, creating these nice match sticks. Which is basically what a julienne is. And there you have it, the perfect julienne for some pickled carrots or coleslaw.
All right, that concludes our knife skills class for today. I know we only went through 2 techniques. There's a lot more to learn. So if you would like to join one of our in-person classes right here in Katy, we can certainly go over a lot more techniques, including using a boning knife like this to skin salmon or debone some chicken, season it up, we'll grill it on a big green egg, and you actually get to taste the food, which is fantastic. So I hope to see you at our studio or at our next episode of Flavors on Fire 101.